Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to John, we had the opportunity to present at the Metals Investor Forum last November. So for those of you that were in the audience then and that I didn't put to sleep, please take note. We delivered on everything we said we would do. So on that note, I'll quickly jump into our presentation. We only have 10 minutes and a lot to talk about. So I'm going to quickly run through 3 reasons why you should consider an investment in P2 Gold: management, our projects, and our alignment with shareholders. First off, looking at management, we have an experienced management team with a proven track record of success. Our most recent success was taking the Brucejack mine from discovery through to commercial production in under 8 years, and that was in the Golden Triangle. We expect P2 Gold to be our next success. So looking at our projects, we have 2 standout gold-copper projects. We have the BAM project in the Golden Triangle and the Gabbs Project down in Nevada. Looking at Gabbs first, what attracted us to Gabbs, we bought it a year ago yesterday, was jurisdiction, Nevada, top-tier jurisdiction. If you look at the top right-hand side of the slide, great infrastructure. We have a paved highway through the northwest corner of our claims. We have a well-maintained access road and power line through the center of our claims. Everything you want to build a mine. And then finally, and most importantly, if you look in the lower right-hand side of the slide, at the time we purchased Gabbs, it had 4 known zones of mineralization and a combined inferred mineral resource of 1.84 million ounces of gold equivalent, made up of gold and copper, which is our preferred byproduct. What's more, when we were doing our due diligence on Gabbs and we dug into that resource, we could quickly see that Gabbs has potential for 4 to 5 million ounces of gold equivalent near surface. So in the fall of last year, we completed a 4,500-meter drill program on the Sullivan Zone, which you can see on the right side of Gabbs. And based on that drill program, we announced an updated mineral resource for Gabbs back in February of this year. We increased overall resources by over 50%. We now have indicated mineral resources of 1.12 million ounces of, gold equivalent, and inferred mineral resources of 1.64 million ounces of gold equivalent. Now, we're still focused on an exploration target of 4 to 5 million ounces of gold equivalent at Gabbs. However, to show the robust economics, we've done a lot of desktop work, to show that robust economics of Gabbs, we've got a preliminary economic assessment that we're going to complete by the 4th quarter of this year. And if we can pull that forward to the 3rd quarter, we will, but we're pushing hard on that. Now, taking a different look at things, this is a view of our Gabbs project. So I'm standing on the Lucky Strike zone, looking off at the Sullivan Zone in the distance. That's where we did our drilling in 21. You can see the Gold Ledge Zone in the lower right. Now, the mineralization at Gabbs in these 3 zones is gold, copper, porphyry mineralization, and everyone agrees on that. What hasn't been found yet is where's the source to this mineralization. And why that's important? Most of the largest gold mines in the world today are gold, copper, porphyry deposits. So in November of last year, running on into January this year, we completed a deep penetrating geophysical survey using modern geophysical techniques and instruments. And with that survey, we identified an anomaly in the center of our property, as John mentioned earlier. So that's that round black, circular black anomaly in the center of the property, midway between Lucky Strike and Gabbs, both gold, copper, porphyry deposits. And that red zone around it, that's the alteration halo. So taking a section view through that anomaly of on the Gabbs property, looking to the northwest, that green blob that you see there, we believe that's a porphyry intrusive coming up to surface. It tops out about 450 meters from surface, well within mining depth. And why we think this and why we're so excited about it, if you take a look at the left-hand side of the slide, that's your classic porphyry deposit geological model, where you have an intrusive coming up and the mineralization draped across the top. So we think we have everything there other than we have to drill it. Now, we're working on a permit so that we can get in and drill this anomaly. We expect to be drilling it in the first half of next year. Now, back to our PEA. We're pushing hard on that PEA through the rest of this year. We believe it really will show robust economics for Gabbs. As I said, we'll finish it up. We're targeting the fourth quarter of this year, and if we can pull that forward to the third quarter, so much the better. And as you can see in the lower right, we're targeting production at Gabbs for mid-2026 on the surface mineralization. So now let's take a look at BAM. BAM's completely different. It's all about discovery. In fact, it's the newest gold discovery in the Golden Triangle. We optioned the property back in July of 2020, as historically there had been some work on the property, and to the south of that white circle, they discovered some high-grade copper in the 60s, and further south yet, they discovered some high-grade gold. But none of that really hung together, and nothing really became of it. So we went in, did a grassroots exploration program late August 2020, and did a big soil sampling survey, 5 kilometers by 2 kilometers. And what we discovered with that program was the Monarch Gold Zone in the northwest corner of the property. That's an area of the property that's never been drilled. So in July 21, we went into BAM and we drilled 6 holes. 2 holes into the historical copper zone, and we had some good hits, nice copper, but what's really got us excited is the Monarch Gold Zone, which you can see up on the top of the slide. We drilled 4 holes into the Monarch Gold Zone. Remember, this is a zone that had never been drilled before, and all 4 holes hit gold. And if you take a look at our hole number 3, which is second down from the top on the right-hand side of the slide, we had some great intersections there, high grade as well as a broad lower grade zone. Now, to give you some perspective on the size of the Monarch Gold Zone, what we have here is an aerial view looking down on the Monarch Gold Zone. And you can see it's 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters, so a kilometer by a kilometer, quite a distance. And what we've done is we've overlain our soil sampling grid from our 2020 exploration program on that photo. Now, each one of those dots represents a soil sample. We have the legend in the lower right-hand corner. So anything orange, red, magenta, those are all considered high-grade soil samples. And you can see we drilled under some of those high-grade samples to get our 4 drill holes. All of them hit gold. So there's a lot more high-grade soil samples on the property we haven't drilled yet. Our target for this surface area is 3 to 5 million ounces of gold just in the surface area at BAM. Now, like Gabbs, this is being fed by a porphyry deposit at depth. We have all the epithermal trace elements sitting up at surface. So we know there's a porphyry down there somewhere. Now, why we believe it hasn't been identified to date, if you look at the right-hand side of the slide, there's a large gray area. Now, that's a lava flow that's covering the mineralization, relatively recent, 10 million years ago. So our view in our exploration model, I'll just explain this slide, we have a section view through the BAM property looking to the north. Our view is that we have a porphyry, alkaline porphyry sitting at depth, feeding this mineralization up through the copper zone as well as a separate phase up into our Monarch Gold Zone. And why it hasn't been identified to date is you can see that 10 million year old plateau basalt. That's that lava flow, and it's covering up that feeder zone, so people haven't been able to identify it yet. So this summer, we're drilling 8,000 to 10,000 meters at BAM. We're going to drill off that surface mineralization and look to get a resource on that. We're also going to target that feeder zone, targeting the high-grade alkaline porphyry mineralization feeding up to surface. So that's BAM. So stay tuned. We believe BAM is going to be the next big thing in the Golden Triangle. So I'm running out of time here. Just quickly on alignment with shareholders. Management owns over 25% of the company. We bought all our shares at market prices. In fact, we've just announced a financing. We're raising up to $2 million, and management's going to be taking down $750,000 of that private placement. So we are well aligned and positioned to succeed with you at BAM and Gabbs. Thank you very much.